push out of here is so huge, and RIX are kind of finding themselves a little bit corralled. They're going to push in, but they're going to have so much pressure from different angles. We've already got nearly up towards Heaven, so she's going to be locking down that sideline. And while RIX do have the plant down, BBL Queens now coming in for a very strong retake here. They could get really slowed down. They took so long to make the rotation. My screen exploded. Okay, we're back. Dashing into the cloudburst, trying to get some space in onto the site, and the strong retake comes through. 2 versus 2. Make that 2 versus... Whoa, make that 1 versus 1. As the bodies just continue to fall, but these last 2 players so low on HP. We're playing Ring Around the Rosie around the generator here. The spike is slowly...
They're looking for picks at the moment, and I do like that. Unlike a lot of teams that we see when they are on the eco, they're not going super aggressive. It's not going to be very easy for RIXGG to just absolutely splinter them apart. Except they've got a crossfire for that.
Ooh, who needs a crossfire? Good grief! How do you get that much value in pistols? Banshee manages to spray them down despite the fact that it's a 2-stack swing. Now it does get somewhat evened out. See, a last player left alive is going to get shut down. Now they are kind of sending Miiizzy on a sneaky lurk through tree to try and create a little bit of a crossfire, but needs to be aware of Nariel. Oh, there we go. That's going to be some utility to try and get them in onto the site, but Banshee, ready with the quick draw, is able to take down Padge. Now, that's a Rolling Thunder invested, and yet RIX still down to only 2 players. Miiizzy, however, is going to start to claw their way back in here for RIX, because now they're going to swing into tree. Oh, but it's minemosynE who's able to get that first pick off there. Sia, once again, being a huge boom here for RIX, is going to even it out again. Go back and forth, and that's another ultimate committed into this round from RIX, and unfortunately, hearing one, it's just a fraction of a millimeter just off. Paranoia is unnecessary. All right, cool. Nariel just goes absolutely huge. Unfortunately, Banshee misses all the knives, but thankfully there was some leeway given over by the rest of the team. RIX, however, Raina not looking to allow another. Oh no, dying to the shock dart. You hate to see it. Spike's gonna get planted. Owl drone comes out. That's gonna give away the information. Not too sure that Miiizzy spotted it. It's a bit late to spot it now. And the Odin doesn't spam through the wall, but despite
more importantly, so too is a defensive lockdown of their own. So you want to be a little bit more cautious with how you play these ultimates.
Well, there's that lockdown coming out, and oh man, Banshee, she's just running circles around them at this point. Counter lockdown's gonna come out here, and with the spike having not been planted, they're just gonna run straight into it. There's not a lot of time here to get out. 1 player detained. Do they push this? Seems not. That has slowed down Lightning quite a bit here. So now we're going to have the Stim Beacon to try to make up for how much they've been slowed down, but no one's pushing. They can't afford to. They know that they've lost 2 players. Now they have to pull back entirely. Oh, this is so rough. They've dropped the spike in no man's land while they wait to see what the plan is going to be. They're trying to pull out a rotation if they can, but oh, Banshee catches Sia on the potential lurk there. And this is RIX just falling apart.
Yeah, and BBL as well. The Sova isn't playing with the team. So if RIXGG had tried to rotate towards the B side, they could still have stopped.
Just leave Killjoy there to be an anchor, but they couple it with the Sova as well. They leave mid somewhat clear. Now we're starting to see a rotation around to try and cover that angle. However, as we can see, the action's happening. Oh no, the bait res. Now the res comes out. It does manage to happen, but it's a beautiful swing out. No, the dash! Banshee! Tailwinds into no man's land and gets taken out for her troubles, and RIX very much poised here to take this site pretty easily. Spike's gonna get planted. Now they just have to set up the post-plant positions. They've got a molly available, so while you are playing on site, you can also just play out in wine if you've got those lineups. However, not gonna be needed. Ever last player left alive, and feels like this could be. Please save. I mean, we haven't seen a single save this entire evening, in fact, and it seems a little rough that we're taking such high-risk plays. Okay, 1 exit.
Maybe that's all they can find. Over fault lines away. It's gonna be able to escape, at least for now, but I mean, you can just see the swarm of movement on this map. They know exactly where this over is. Check your corner to push that angle until it's gone.
The strength of the one-way smoke is massive there, but Kim, taking such... Well, you're gonna see the nano swarms get popped just to provide a little bit of extra cover here, slow things down just that little bit, but Miiizzy swings out at just the right time, gets that first pick. The Odin does not get the value. Oh, minemosynE has Boathouse, the god spot, but unfortunately isn't using the cover at just the wrong moment.
Okay, so say it with me. Save the op. Save the op.
Operator is one of my favorite operators, but unfortunately they're not going anywhere near that. Nanoswarm's gonna come out, but the stim beacon gives them then a little bit of mew to get themselves through it nice and quickly. And after the beautiful opening kill as well, this is exactly what they needed. Full control of the A site. BBL 3 versus 4 retake here. Hunter's Fury is gonna come out. Oh, it's aimed on default. And it connects! Oh, I love that! So she actually switches up the direction of the Hunter's Fury to try and maximize the space covered and actually manages to stop the plant from coming through. The judge is not going to get the value that it was hoping to. 2 versus 2 here. Eva has been really huge for her team. We've also got the Blade Storm out. There you go. That's going to be the first one. And Banshee Orbital Strike. In order for it to get the value, they kind of need to get themselves in a bit of a post-plant position. So, without further ado, we're gonna go noom. We're gonna get that first kill on the board along with the lockdown coming out, but there you go. Judge getting the value it wanted. However, not going to get much more than just the one. And now RIX are gonna find themselves on the site, spike planted, and orbital strike ready to go. They should still have recon dot as well, so this could be so easy to just shut down an ingress.
This could be so brutal. Not only do you have orbital strike, you've got rolling thunder as well. You know, the biggest counter to orbital strike is pulling the knife out and running, but if you're caught in a breach ultimate, you're not really going to be able to do that. There's the orbital strike trying to just come off of the back of the fact that you lost your killjoy. And it is buying the time necessary. Seconds have been shaved off, and you haven't been able to get back onto this B side. You have to go in super quickly. The rolling thunder tries to set Raina up to counter the Omen, but unfortunately the shots aren't able to connect. So you're still able to just shoot Nariel as they move through market, and Minimos are just nothing. But I mean, BBL, if they had a Brimstone, they'd be able to use that stim beacon, but they don't, and so they have to just go in blind. There's the dash. Page not able to get away or find a pick, but it has bought the time for the Brimstone to be able to just book it all the way to the side of the point. BBL not able to clear the site, have to just go for the picks instead. Dark cover going to be providing so much of that space, that's making it so much harder for RIX to actually find any sort of...
Miiizzy!
But Miiizzy able to find 2. Still, unfortunately, entirely sidelined. 40 HP, no killjoy utility, spike down in the ground. You have to be able to hit these shots absolute pixel perfectly. It's going to be checking logs as well the second that you jump down. Has to remember the angle that was taken advantage of in the previous side swap.
Well, there you go. Didn't realize that now.
And I love how BBL just hear the shots, know that the jet is going to be there, see the stim beacon, and just like, yeah, we're going to push onto the site instead.
I think that a part of that was also for potential retreat. So if you push out aggressively, then you can pull back. But they didn't need to, because as you said, BBL Queens opt not to push into that. Instead, they book it over towards the A site. Now we're seeing all of that utility coming out. The Sage Wall's going to come up as well to try and block off the entrance from Tree. Now, part of it does get somewhat broken down, but we find ourselves in a 5v5 retake, and this is not a position you want to be in if you're the defense. You want to have taken down 1 or 2 players. This definitely favors our attackers, but let's see how we approach this as, yep, there we go, defensive clean up as RIX and Padge just create a beautiful crossfire there from heaven, and it could have gone pretty bad. Trades favor the attackers, so when you have the numbers advantage, you gotta know how much more advantageous that is. We're going to see the aggressive push here now, hard and fast in onto the B site. Spike's being dropped. This is a great defense from RIX again, because it's Raina, who once again is just holding things down incredibly well. For some reason, she doesn't check mid. And it's going to be Xecriona.
Separating it in half, pushing onto a site when they're outnumbered, and then able to punish those players who were going for that hesitant pushback previously.
Padge will get that first pick of the round, and important to note, RIX have been holding on to a lot of these ultimates for a while here, just not really getting the opportunity to use them, as now they've pushed BBL out of mid for the most part. Do they know that there's still one here? Nope. So she's gonna get that first kill. Now she has to be on guard because, oh man, look at the swarm. But here's the scary part. If she gets 1 or 2 kills here, okay, no, unfortunate. Beautiful use of the recon dot there. Pulls the attention away. It's a trade, but it's given BBL Queens all the time that they need to push in onto the A site, get that spike down, start to set up those crossfires. Veronica, oh, they don't check her, but she's traded out immediately. Again, crossfire is so important, so strong. Hunter's Fury gonna come out. It doesn't manage to really do much of anything. 2 versus 1. Raina has to come up so huge. They can hear her. They know she's in heaven. She hasn't moved in through tree. She has to somehow isolate
Banshee
these
is right there. Doesn't care about being stunned. It's still going to hold the angle. It's still going to get so much information. Beacon's going to be there to try and let the operator get that escape tool that it's been looking for. But you've been pushed all the way back out of B main.
Alright, that's a good start to the round at the very least. Oh, the trade though. Again, they favor the attackers. And now Padge, finally with an op in her hand, she's trying to crack into this attack, trying to slow it down as much as possible. But they're giving away free trades. And now they've lost the advantage. With only 2 players left. Holding up in mid just in case there's a mid rotation. But BBL are too smart for that. Not only are they pushing out or rotating through the attacking spawn, they're doing it all the way on the very edge so as not to make a sound.
Oh.
Now as they wait to gather some of that information, they start to pull back. It's all about pulling those rotations. And they're so patient.
They know that the Sova's there too. They know that Raina is around mid.
30 seconds left.
And I mean, 30 seconds is left, so maybe we get to see Raina make a little bit of a flank and look for that backstab, but Padge still holding this angle. Hoping that one of them walks into it. Spike carrier is down. The dark cover is going to make it so much harder for the operators to actually find any sort of pick. Fortunately for the op, there's only 10 seconds left. They do have to just prioritize getting the spike down into the ground and continuing this round. But Hunter's Fury being up now for BBL is going to make it so much harder for RIX to actually be able to get this defuse safely through. Since BBL have now been able to hole up in the back of Boathouse and set up a crossfire.
1 enemy remaining.
There we go, Padge. Swapping over from the op. Such an important
Keep
decision.
an eye on lobby because they know historically RIX has pushed too far out of it. But because they don't know whether or not RIX are going to be holding these angles or walking into them, they're getting sloppy about checking angles themselves.
In terms of healing, or, you know, if there is. I think there is, might be. No, it's not. So it doesn't really matter. But, you know, no healing available. So, RIX, definitely in an advantageous position here. Stim Beacon is down. They've also still got Lockdown available. And, Spike gets dropped in the middle of B main. Only 1 player left alive. minemosynE, I mean... Surely you hold on to the rifle at this point, good, because the Aldrone isn't going to spot her out.
I think they're gonna.
Oh, it still doesn't see the
He just doesn't see the elbow.
No
way! Idea that Padge is there.
I cannot believe it. The Aldrone doesn't check that, and so they basically just feed Nariel to the wolves. Beautiful shot taken there by Padge, and now Xecriona trapped a little bit in mid here. Beautiful recon dart's going to come out to help get a kill, so it does even out the numbers a little bit as BBL start to make their way over towards the B side. There was an almost full rotation over towards A, but it's Miiizzy who didn't fall for it, who's holding in B main and getting 3 kills to shut down this push. Xecriona is the last one left alive. I'm not sure if this was a phenomenal RIX round or if this was just BBL making far too many mistakes.
Xecriona is actually going to be able to stay alive. Gets 1. Raina too distracted with the nano swarm. Isn't able to find the clutch though. And yeah, it really does feel like it was BBL
going to come out just to provide a little bit of extra cover. And again, BBL have found themselves back on a slow play. But look where Xecriona is! She's pushed all the way up into mid. The potential lurk here is massive. If BBL can start to open up this site, they need to get the first couple of kills. So they start to push in. The flash comes out. Oh, and it's 2 kills! Beautifully played here. The flash doesn't slow them down for even a second. The Hunter's Fury will push them back, and Kim will capitalize. Recon Dart pushes her off of the angle, and the paranoia stops her in her tracks as BBL get the res off in a 5 versus... one. Okay. Padge has an operator. Yes, gonna swap that for a rifle. It's the correct decision. Pops the blade storm as well. She knows this is it. It's do or die. She has to somehow clutch this out. 1 versus 4 with just a blade storm. Spots the top of the one head, gives away her position. She's run out of knives and it's 3 people swinging on her.